quorum with all school board members present. Dr. Perigin, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I would like for us to observe a moment of silence, and I would like to share that the Damascus community lost a big influence. The mayor of Damascus Jack McCready passed away, but he had been mayor of Damascus for over 20 years and was currently on the board now. So, and his wife was also an instructional aide in Washington County Schools. So let's pause for a moment of silence. Thank you. Agenda item 1.05, approved meeting agenda.
Madam Chair, I make a motion we approve the meeting agenda.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Being a Being recognition, Dr. Perigin.
Madam Chair, I know the board will probably get tired of hearing this spiel, but we do have a lot of first-time guests in the room tonight, so I just want to make sure that they understand we're just not calling people names. There is really a reason that we're giving our Bean Awards out. So, you know, oftentimes in our professional and our personal lives, sometimes we have to deal with hot water, sometimes even boiling water, and obviously that's an analogy. But, you know, when you take a potato and you put that potato in boiling water, that potato will get soft. If you take an egg and you place the egg in boiling water, that egg will get hard. And that's not the reaction that you want anytime that you're dealing with a tough situation. What you want is you want to be more like a coffee bean, because when you take a coffee bean and you place that in boiling water, the bean actually changes the water. It makes the water better. And so we are, throughout the course of this school year, we're going to recognize students and employees who have that unique ability to be able to change the water and make things better in the environments in which they learn and which they work. And so we have several of those recognitions tonight. So we'll start out. Actually, I did this recognition last month, and evidently the communication didn't go out to invite the people to come and receive their award. So we brought them back. We're going to recognize them again tonight. So we have some teachers from Meadowview Elementary. They are third grade teachers. Earlier this school year, Ms. Puckett got an email from a school division up in the northern part of Virginia, and they had saw what our SOL results were in third grade this past year, and they had a school with demographics very much like Meadowview Elementary, and they had emailed Ms. Puckett to find out what our secret to success was. And of course, Ms. Puckett's answer was the teachers in that classroom were the secret to the success. And let me give you an example of how those scores have improved at Meadowview Elementary. So if you go back in math, third grade math at Meadowview Elementary in 2022, we had a 70% pass rate. And by 2025, these teachers had increased that pass rate to 82. In language arts, in that same third grade, with that same group of in third grade, those scores had went up from 68% in 22 all the way up to 84% in 2025. And that is, 12-point gains and a 16-point gains may not sound like a lot, but when you look at moving the needle academically with academic achievement, those are huge gains, really unheard of gains in that short amount of time. And we know that the most important aspect to student achievement is the teacher in the classroom. And so we want to take a moment to recognize these teachers and thank them for changing the water in third grade language arts and third grade math at Meadowview Elementary. So at this time, I would like to ask Jerry Skings and Jennifer Galden, they are our third grade math teachers, to come forward. You get to You get to take both. You get 2 awards. Congratulations.
so
All right,
much.
thank you very much. I'm gonna get you to stay right here. We're gonna take a picture of everybody in just a second. And we also have Robin McGee and Kristen Harris from Meadowview Elementary. Thank you very much. You better not shake it too hard. There you go. We don't want you to go out on- Congratulations. If y'all don't mind, we're going to have you guys come up here and get a picture. Miss Puckett, would you like to come up with your staff here too? Boy, I don't know if y'all know how proud your principal is of the work that you guys do, but she was very proud to share that email with me whenever she got it. So, y'all sign on back there. Here you go.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. I thought I would be able to do it.
Here it comes out.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
We'll leave it there just in case. How about that? Thanks, guys. And welcome back.
It's my goal every
I know, yeah. Y'all may remember last year she was here because she saved a student who was choking. So we like to have return visitors. Well, staying at Meadowview Elementary School, we also have a bus driver who serves the Meadowview Elementary area who we'd like to recognize tonight. So earlier this year, we had a student who experienced a medical emergency while on the bus. And you can imagine if you're driving your own family in a car and somebody has a medical emergency, you can imagine the stress. But imagine driving a busload full of kids and a student has a medical emergency. However, Miss Stacy remained calm and collected. She carefully followed the student's medical plan and applied a gummy to the child's lips, providing reassurance through the entire episode. She didn't only take care of the student who was having the medical issue, but took care of the other students on the bus as well. And thanks to her attentive and compassion, the student stayed calm and safe until she could get the student back to school, where she got her in the care of the nurse and eventually in the care of the child's parents. So we're so grateful for her swift response and the steady presence that she brings to her students each day. Her actions remind us that our bus drivers are not only responsible for the safe transportation, but also play a very important part in the well-being of all of our students. So, Miss Stacy, please come forward.
Okay.
All right. So, but it's funny that the morning that it happened, y'all know I start my days typically at a different school in a car rider line, and so I learned about this event happening at Meadowview. But I was on my way after I left Meadowview to give her, I give out when I find out employees are doing something good, I take them a little pack of coffee beans just as to go along with our theme. I was taking her a pack of coffee beans because of another situation. So when I had my student advisory meeting the week before, she teaches a dual enrollment calculus class, and one of the students was having trouble on a Sunday night. I think it was about 10:15, and just couldn't find the answer, couldn't figure it out. So this student sends Miss Stacy an email at 10:15, and within 3 minutes, she responded and was helping that student, even on a Sunday night at 10:15. And so we also want to recognize her for that, for going. So she's one of those bus teachers who also drives a bus route for us. So we're getting our money's worth out of Miss Stacy, and she does a great job. So we have another certificate for you as well. Thank you. All right.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move out of the Glade and Meadowview area and move down to the Abingdon area. So Dr. Brannon can appreciate this because he's been principal at Abingdon High School. If you've ever been to First Lunch at Abingdon High School, it can be a very crowded location. It's actually the most crowded lunch that we have this year at Abingdon High School. But during First Lunch, a student started having a medical issue while sitting at the table in the middle of the cafeteria. the students who were sitting next to that student jumped into action to make sure that this student was safe. One caught his head as he was falling backwards, and another helped secure his legs because the student's legs were in between the cafeteria tables. They then yelled for adults to come and help, and they stayed with the student until the issue subsided. They helped clear the way, they fetched napkins, they helped gather his things, and helped make sure that their classmate was all right. And the teachers also stepped up to help with that as well. So at this time, I'd like to bring up Cheyenne Wright and Brody Stringer. I'm sure you were scared to death, weren't you? Not really? No? All right. All right, Brody, congratulations. We really appreciate you. We're going to get you guys to come right up here. But we also had two teachers that helped as well. And those two teachers are a new teacher to the division, Eddie Beck, and also a veteran teacher, Miss Tina Main.
You know,
I said veteran, I didn't say it. So
you might as well say it old.
appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Ms. Cumbo? You're welcome. All right.
Are you afraid to stand beside me?
Okay, on the count of 3, 1, 2. Right, thank you.
Appreciate you. Thank you very much. No problem. Yes, sir.
You can give a speech.
All right. We're still going. And we have some more already lined up for next month, too. We have a phenomenal school division, in case you haven't noticed. Couldn't be more proud to be your superintendent. So we actually have a third grade student at Abingdon Elementary, and Miss Willis, who's our principal there, is trying to create leadership opportunities for our students. With those leadership opportunities comes some certain responsibilities. And so we had a student who had a job, a leadership role, but was having trouble making it on time to get to that leadership role. So the student came to Miss Willis and knew that he had to live up to his level of responsibility, and so he was going to turn in his safety vest because he could no longer make it. And so he was really enjoying doing the job, but he just couldn't get there on time. And she was telling the story that he was so upset that he actually kissed his vest and turned it over to Miss Willis, and she worked with him. And so I think that story got out. And one of our other employees, James Henniger, who's a custodian at Abingdon Elementary, heard the story and he said, "You know what? I think I've got a role for this fella." And so the student had some issues that needed assistance with, had to have special resources to make the job happen. Well, Mr. Henniger went and made sure that he had the tools that he needed to get the job done, and he brought that student on to work with him. And so now that student went from having to turn his safety vest over to now playing a very, very important role in the school division, and that is on Mr. James's crew, helping to make sure that the school is spick and span and spotless. And if you've been in Abingdon Elementary, you know how good it looks, and that is because of Mr. James and his crew. And so we would like to recognize Mr. James for taking care of that student who was really having a hard time and was so disappointed that he couldn't do his other leadership role. Mr. James made it happen for him. Mr. Henniger. And while y'all are looking at him, you would not believe how many students at Abingdon Elementary think we're brothers. Your wife don't want to hear that. But we get accused of being brothers all the time, don't we? We do. All right. Can we get your picture?
Miss Willis.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Miss Willis. I think, Mr. Francisco.
Count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
So the last story that I'd like to share with you is it's a confidential story. And so we've not invited any of the employees involved in this story because we don't want to we just don't want to potentially identify the student that was involved. So I'm going to tell you the story. We're going to leave out the names. Our employees know who they are, and I will be taking them their award and deliver it to them in person. But at one of our high schools, we had a custodian and an attendance clerk notice that a student was arriving at school and just sitting in the hallway at 6:15 a.m. every morning. The student shared with them that the only way to get to school was to arrive that early because his father had to drop him off. And so the administration, they called him down to the office and said, we got buses that run all over the county. We can provide transportation. And it was at that point that the student told the administration that he and his dad had been sleeping in his truck. His dad had been out of work and didn't have money for rent, and he had just gotten a new job and was waiting for his first paycheck to arrive. And so the student shared, in addition to sleeping in the truck, that he was also hungry. So the school immediately jumped into action. They provided the resources they needed not only to feed the student while he was at school, but to feed the student and the father whenever they were away from school. Within 1 hour of this school hearing that story, the guidance department contacted a local church. The church provided accommodations at a local hotel for this young man and his father for the next 5 nights. They shared, this student was also in one of our bands. They shared that with the band director, and the band also wrapped around the student and provided additional resources and made sure they had all the resources they need. The father was so overwhelmed and was very emotional, and it was a great experience because they weren't asking for help, but they were sure glad to get it. And that happened only because that we have coffee beans in our school. And this dad told the band director that he wanted to continue going to this school because his son loved this. They could have went other places because of their homelessness, but they wanted to stay there, and so they made it work, even if it meant sleeping in the truck for 5 nights, because of those powerful relationships that had been established at that school. The student arrived at school the next day for the first time in a while with a big smile on his face and a full belly and had a full night's rest. And now the two of them, now that his dad has got back on his feet and has his job, they now have a permanent address, and he's a regular student back at that high school. And so, it's stories like that makes everything that we do so worthwhile. And it is, again, I know that you're proud to be school board members, but I'm also proud to be your superintendent. And there are stories that happen like all the ones that I've told all over our division. But if we don't tell them, nobody's going to. And so I'll talk to the board members privately in the school in which that happens so that but certainly don't want to break that confidentiality. But again, stories like that happen all over Washington County, and I'm super proud to be your superintendent. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, item number 2.02, VSBA Academy credits, Dr. Perrington.
Madam Chair, the Virginia School Boards Association provides a number of training opportunities throughout the school year to make sure that our school board, first and foremost, keeps your superintendent straight. That's one of the main things that a school board is to do. But all kinds of trainings about budget, about superintendent's evaluation, about legislative lobbying, all kinds. And so whenever you go to these events and you learn, you get academy points for doing so. And so our school board is one of the most, we attend the VSB events as much as any other school board that I know, and we have some awards to give to our school board members tonight. And so the first one goes to Miss Debbie Anderson, the Award of Distinction. You got your starfish, that's right.
It's the same ones.
Also, the Award of Distinction, Sanders Henderson. Award of Distinction, Miss Jenny Nichols. Award of Honor, Adam Wilson. Award of Recognition, Sandy Frederick. And award of recognition, Crystal Rasnick. I'll also say Dr. Brandon goes to these events as well, but he's in a working capacity whenever he goes because he works for Vacor, an insurance provider across the Commonwealth. But again, I go to as many of our staff as well, Ms. Caudill, Ms. Phillips, myself. We also had recognitions, but we wanted to recognize you guys tonight because we also attend those VSBA events for learning because I think we're all dedicated to making sure that Washington County Public Schools is the very best school division in the entire Commonwealth of Virginia. So,
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to give our board opportunity to recognize Being a Bean or talk about if you have something you would like to say for the ones that we were recognized. Ms. Nichols.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. I just want to say thank you to the students, the teachers, the administrators, parents, everyone that's here tonight, whether you're supporting a family member or you're one of the ones that acknowledged. I am just absolutely blown away and overwhelmed over and over of what an amazing place Washington County Schools is and the communities that comprise Washington County. We have great people, and that's, I think the most valuable part of our school division is it's the students, but also it's the employees that pour into our students every single day. So thank you so much. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I think the board has an enormous amount of gratitude for what you do every single day, because I think a lot of times it's a grind daily, and it may feel like a thankless job, but please know that we see you. We are grateful for everything you do, and if there's anything that even we have a blind spot that we're missing that we can support you better, please don't hesitate to reach out to central office and let us know, because we're here to help you and support you.
I'd like to thank everyone and also that was recognized tonight. I wouldn't think anything less of Washington County employees, Washington County people, Southwest Virginia people. That's what we do for each other. We take care of each other. And all you folks that stepped up, our bus driver there, let me tell you, in a school situation, I've been in a school setting when we've had a medical emergency. We had to get our kids out of that room and put them somewhere else while that child was having that medical emergency, and that teacher or nurse, she didn't have anybody on that bus but herself. She had to get it done. And I really appreciate people thinking and doing the right things. And that's again what people in Southwest Virginia do. We do the right things. And I want to thank each and every one of you for doing that.
Yes, just want to echo what everyone else said. Thank you. I think you've got a nursing profession maybe in your background. You said you were not even hesitate to help out and ask, so that's just great. Absolutely wonderful for young adults to do that, and we really respect that and appreciate it. And looking after our kids, making sure they're taken care of, whatever you do, whether it's instructionally, all people. The school division is a very complex organization. People do not understand that. They think it's all teachers and students, which that's our primary goal. But we're talking from the top: custodians, maintenance, bus drivers, food service, cafeteria workers, mowers, weed eaters, everybody in a system. And it's a big, complex organization to have. And it's great to have great people like we have in Washington County working for Washington County Public Schools. So thank each and every one of you all. And if we can help you in any way, let us know. Thank you.
I just like to say, and I spread this across the whole entire state of Virginia as I travel around, we truly are blessed to live where we live. We are blessed with good people and a good community that always think of others before they think of themselves. And to everybody that helped each other out, even from the teachers teaching, from helping your fellow students, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Because anytime you can always help somebody else, you're helping yourself at the same time. So continue on that path of helping others.
It just brings me joy to see the sense of community that we have within our schools, because that's how we get to the academic standards that we're reaching, is by having that community, that family feeling, and being there for each other. And it just makes me super proud to hear all these Being a Bean stories.
And I echo what my fellow board members have said. I work with a colleague that's just recently moved to the area, and she said the other day, I feel like I've moved to the edge of heaven to be in Washington County, and it's because of the people here. And it doesn't take you long to travel far from here to know that this is a special place to live, and we have special people here who take wonderful care of our children, who I think are our most precious resource. So, I echo what my board members have said, that it's truly a blessing to be a part of Washington County.
Thank you. And thank you's not enough, because it's what you all do on a daily basis that makes the difference in so many young lives. And they'll never forget it. They'll be seniors or older, and they'll come up to you and say, "Do you remember me?" Now, I don't remember them. They've grown up. I've just got gray hair. So, it's those stories, and they'll never forget what you do in their lives. Thank you again. Let them go.
We got a lot of other boring stuff on the agenda tonight. Y'all are welcome to stay for it, but if y'all want to go out and grab an ice cream or enjoy the rest of this nice fall evening, you're certainly welcome to do that.
Those tennis courts out there, they were nice.
Ms. Buck, see you next month. Just in case. Just in case.
See y'all? Savannah, you thought you were going to have to speak in front of that big crowd.
You kind of there for a second. I don't know if I can do this. No.
Okay. Item number 3.01, student school board representative report.
All right, so Casey, I'm gonna let you start first, and that because Savannah looked like she was as nervous as a cat in a room full of rocks. Seeing that big crowd, I'm gonna let her catch her breath here for a second.
Okay.
I'll let you go first, Casey.
I cannot believe we're already to the end of the first 9 weeks. It's crazy. At Holston especially, everything's been going really smoothly. Everything's been going great. Everybody's coming to school and attendance is really good. And everything's been going really great. I am very happy to see the taco salad back on the menu. I love that. And the cafeteria food's really good. All of the teachers and stuff are amazing. And it's been going really good.
All right. Thank you very much. Savannah?
Yeah, going off of what she said, it's crazy that we're already through the first 9 weeks. We're in the middle of homecoming week, so we're in between all those activities. But everything's gone really smoothly this year so far, so yeah.
Y'all both starting to make some plans for next year, I know.
Yes, sir.
Savannah, you want to talk about what you've got in the hopper?
Well, I'm about to apply to Tennessee, so.
Go Balls.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've been working on that application and a couple more for other schools too.
Casey?
I got accepted into Emory Henry's early admissions for the nursing program. And so I'm planning to go there, thank you, and hopefully cheer and get my bachelor's of science in nursing.
Stingers up, baby.
Yes.
Okay, board members, do you have any questions you would like to pose?
I would like to ask, if that's okay, Madam Chair, how do you feel the cell phone policy where we had to do some tweaks right before the beginning? Is it working? Is it not working? Are people adhering to it? Are they complaining? Like, if you don't mind to give us unfiltered feedback of how that's working, we're very interested.
I know for Battle it's gone really well. We've had a lot less people on their phones during the school day. Like, you don't see them on their phones during the school day, it's just before and after. We've had hardly any phones turned in. I mean, of course, there's some of those kids that want to be on their phones and they turn them in. But, yeah, a lot less than last year.
Do you feel like that the student engagement, like the
Yes.
interaction between
Very
each other,
much.
so it's
Yes,
better?
I think, like, especially in the cafeteria, like last year it was always just glued to your phones, and this year you see a lot more people actually interacting with each other.
That's good to know. Thank you so much.
A lot of the schools around, I'm on the advisory committee too, and a lot of the schools have the same feelings towards it, that there's a lot of more communication between the students, and so it's really good to see.
I was really expecting to get waylaid at my student advisory, but they all said that, that it was really smooth. I mean, I can't make it up.
It's very peaceful, a lot of communication.
Thank you for that feedback.
I got one point. You said it's homecoming week at Battle?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I've been doing a long-term sub at a high school, not in this county, but they had a homecoming week. And I know when I went to school during homecoming week, I asked the young lady to go to the homecoming dance. Now I see they're writing it out on boards and stuff. Why are they doing that?
They gotta be fancy.
You gotta be creative.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I was creative. I walked up to her and said, "Do you want to go to the homecoming dance?"
That's just as good.
You get extra points for effort.
Yes.
Okay. I just didn't understand that. I've seen it numerous times. What if they don't write it out? What if they ask you, you say no?
No.
Okay. Well, you just did.
No, I think the girl can reserve the right to say no. I mean, it's probably a little soul crushing for the person doing that.
Yeah.
If they put forth the effort to do an arts and craft project and they get shot down. You know?
So if they write it out on something and make a big project and have flowers, it puts more pressure on the one they're asking.
Yep.
Well, I guess I could probably help.
That could be a strategy.
That's all right.
Have you all at Holston had the opportunity to go in and sit in our new seats?
We have not yet, but this Thursday we have our National Honor Society induction. And so that's the big debut for everyone to come in and see the auditorium. But I love them. I'm in there a lot for cheer practice, and so it looks really well. Looks really good.
Has our curtains come yet?
They have not.
Okay.
We're working on it.
Working on it.
We're working on
The
it.
seats look really good though, so I'm excited
And
to
they're
see what the
comfy.
curtains.
The seats are
They are
beautiful.
nice. Yep.
So, all right, any other questions? Okay. Superintendent's report, item number 4.01.
Madam Chair, before I do that, we also have a couple other visitors in the back of the room. Guys, would y'all mind to introduce yourself and tell everybody why you're here?
Sure. My name's Lauren Baker. I go to Abilene High School. I'm a senior, and I'm the SCA School Board Liaison.
My name is Ethan Parks. I'm glad to be here. I'm Abilene's SCA president, so I'm tagging along here with Lauren tonight. So glad to be here.
Yes.
We didn't even make them come. They just came because they wanted to. We appreciate it. All right, so to the superintendent report, I think as board members know, I try to keep you updated when we have issues in our school. We did have a couple of safety issues last week, one at Glade Spring Middle School and then one at Holston High School. One of the situations there, we had a fake weapon, and the other situation we had an actual weapon. I would just like to take just a minute to say that our students, first and foremost, brought the situations to administration's attention, which is just another example of how relationships are so important because our students trust the people that work in our schools, that they share that type of information. And then once our staff had the information, immediately notified SROs and started doing the work and did just a flawless job. We do have a meeting scheduled with all those involved to do a debrief for a couple of reasons. Number one, to make sure that we didn't forget anything, we didn't overlook anything, there wasn't something we could have done better, but then also for those two administrators to share with other administrators in the county about how that works. So even though we don't ever want to go through those situations, but we're glad that everybody's safe, and now we can use those as a teachable moment. Changing gears pretty significantly, I've been updating you, we are going to have partnering with Bristol City Schools, Smith County Schools, Virginia Highlands Higher Ed Center, Emory and Henry, and UVA at Wise, and EO. We're going to have an artificial intelligence symposium at the Higher Ed Center on November 17th. We've brought in 3 nationally renowned speakers on the topic to talk about not only the benefits and how we can use AI effectively, but also the ethical issues and how we can prevent students from using AI the wrong way, and then also tying that into how, by us in education, teaching our students how to use AI properly, how that can have a positive impact on business, industry, and even healthcare. So we've got a lot of great partners. If you can pencil that day off, or at least for part of the day, we're going to have some really, really good speakers and some really good conversations. So, Dr. Brandon is aware of this. I don't know that anybody else is. We now have a weather camera on top of Glade Spring Middle School pointed directly at White Top. And so I anticipate some beautiful views and maybe even some help making snow schedule decisions with that camera up there. I can see what's going on at White Top without driving up there. So excited about that.
It was actually on WCYB today.
Oh, did it? Oh, wow. They just hooked it up yesterday.
They hooked it up yesterday.
All right.
One of the best views in the county.
Mhm.
It's one of the best views in the county, really.
Definitely is.
It really is. Awesome. So, all right, accreditation ratings. So we have access to our students' SOL scores, and we've got a pretty good data person that can calculate those for. We have a good idea of where those scores are going to land. They will be released to us separately this week, so that we have time to get our messages together. But we basically know where all of our schools are going to land, and then a week from whenever they give it to us, it'll be released publicly. I think the board is going to be very excited to see our accreditation ratings. We do have some areas where we could improve, but overall, I think the board's going to be very, very excited to see our accreditation ratings. As we mentioned earlier, I did have all of my advisory meetings last week. I have support staff advisory, I have student advisory, teacher advisory, parent advisory. What else did I leave out, Kelly? Yeah. So I meet with all those folks, and we had some really good feedback. And also, Dr. Wallace and Mr. Lambert got a few projects, so it's not just new business here at the board meetings that puts them to work. We also get some work for them from our advisory meetings. But really, overall, I thought one of the best student advisory meetings that we've had since I've been here. It was a good meeting, and all the rest of them were too. Teachers are happy, support staff's happy, parents are happy, and we, again, just going back to that same narrative we have in all the school division. We also, Mr. Wilson met with me and Dr. Yost and some other folks. We had a meeting about our heavy equipment operators class. We've got a good plan for going with that. We've got a lot of support from the local Caterpillar dealer, from W&L. Other construction companies want to partner with us because they need heavy equipment operators to work as well. We start talking about the equipment that we're going to order. Dr. Yost is in the process of getting the POs out for that. And I just saw come through in my email right before this meeting, I'm getting ready to hit the approve button to post the position to hire the heavy equipment operators teacher. So if you know anybody that might be who's got that skill set and might be interested in having what I can only imagine one of the funnest teaching jobs we're going to have in our county, driving a bulldozer. And, I mean, I'm telling you, I may apply. But anyway, Madam Chair, we have a lot going on, a lot of exciting things, and we'll just continue to move forward. I'm happy to answer any questions about any of those topics that we have.
Thank you. Any questions?
Dr. Perigin, last year, did we get the notes from those advisory committees? Can we get those again this year?
Yep. So I just kept.
They get posted online.
Okay, thank you.
Not only do you get them, everybody in the whole community. It's
Okay.
not. So we post those minutes so everybody can see.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So,
As Dr. Perigin mentioned, the weather camera was a cooperative effort with the town of Glade Spring. No matter how big or how small, I think this board's really tried to covet those types of relationships with our towns, our communities, and things of that nature. If you don't know, Glade Spring is celebrating its 150th anniversary as a town. That's pretty old, Casey, as a town. And they've gone through this whole process for a year, and they had some funds available, and they thought of something to donate and make it a cooperative joint effort. We had the tennis court, a cooperative effort between the town of Abingdon and Glade, but it really doesn't matter how big or how small the project is. It just shows that we want to keep connecting with our community, towns, and other organizations to make the school division even better. So thank you to the town of Glade for donating the camera and for our technology department for hooking it up. But that was another cooperative effort between the school board, the superintendent, and some of our outside agencies. So thank you.
hearing none. 5.01, public comment.
While Dr. Wallace is going up there, I'll also tell you, if you're out at any of our schools in the morning, we have started Tater Tuesdays. I sent that to you in an update. If you want to have one of the best easy cheesies that you've ever had, we're doing those on Tuesdays, and I'm telling you, they're a big hit. So every Tuesday, I always see kids coming in with something like that in car rider lines, and since it's free in Washington County Public Schools, Miss O'Neill's trying to help our families out by providing those easy cheesies for free. So.
Like a boat house or something?
I got to sample them, and it is a dupe on a very popular treat that's local. That's all I'm gonna say. Might be insane. It's a healthy version.
Yes, and they're healthy.
And they're healthy, but I swear it's a perfect dupe. I mean, if it was a blind taste test, I mean, we need to try that one day. Just to like, awesome.
No one signed up.
All right. Then consent agenda. Do I have a motion that we approve 6.01 through 6.23? If anyone has one they would like to pull. Hearing none, I have a motion from Mr. Henderson. I need a second.
Second.
All of those in favor? Thank you. Now we have item number 7, and this is first reading policy. Do I have any that we need to pull for questions? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
Madam Chair.
I move that we put items 7.01 to 7.05 in a block to vote together.
All in favor? Thank you. Dr. Perigin, Cultivate Ed Leadership.
I'm actually going to turn it over to Mr. Lambert.
Madam Chair, Board, we have 3 individuals from our Cultivated Ed Leadership Academy tonight. Ms. Hensley, Dean of Students at E.B. Stanley, Ms. Montesabias, Assistant Principal at Trinity High School, and Ms. Garrett, Dean of Students at Glade Spring Middle School and Damascus Middle School. And listen, they wanted an hour. We'll scale it back, so I think we're good. The floor is yours, guys.
Can we go to slide 2?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so some of our goals of the Cultivated Ed Leadership Program, one of them was mentorships, and we did that on 2 different levels. So we were actually assigned a mentor that was at a different level. I am a middle school person, and I was assigned Mrs. Muncie at the Career and Tech Center, so I got to spend a day with her and build a really good relationship with her. We also worked with different principals and leaders in the county. We met with Dr. King, and she went over the evaluation system with us and how important it is to hire effective teachers and what to look for in those informal and formal discussions. We also worked with the 3 different levels of teacher or principals, and we worked with them on their master schedule just to look at all the moving parts and the things to consider that go into building a master schedule. And those are some of the relationships that we built this year in the county.
So I'm Andrea Garrett. I had a mentor at the elementary school level, and I was traditionally a high school teacher for the past 16 years. So that was a good look at just the vast difference between the 2 worlds. But something else that we did, we had a summer assignment through our Cultivate Ed Leadership. So it was a book study where we learned, where we read Leaders Eat Last. And so the book really encompassed what it takes to be a leader, building trust and cooperation within your building, and how to get the best out of individuals when you're in those leadership roles. Some other things that we did through the Cultivate Ed Leadership was our improvement projects. So Mr. Lambert kind of sent out a poll at the very beginning and said, what might you be interested in working on? So these were things that were needs within the county, so things that we wanted to look at within the county. One of the groups looked at rural driver's education, so revamping the driver's education course for areas like Southwest Virginia, where you're not encountering roundabouts, but more so maybe cattle in the road.
Until March.
Right.
Right out here in March. So.
Another
Maybe in the roundabout.
Another group looked at remote learning days, and so what were some pros and cons of remote learning days and how we might revamp some of those. And then the group that I was a part in looked at Washington County Community Scholars. So we know that that program, the past several years, especially with the Promise Program initiative, Washington County Community Scholars had kind of fallen by the wayside in the high schools. So one of the things that we had the idea of was to revamp that program and to start it really at the 5th grade level with some community service projects, and then taking those 5th graders all the way up through senior year, and really looking at service projects that can make a lasting impact within the community. And that's something that Mr. Lambert is going to take the lead, and there's several of us that are going to get that going here soon and hopefully be ready to launch that program within the 2026-2027 school year. And then Ms. Montsabias's group looked at advisory, so I'll let you speak to that.
Hello, Ms. Montsabias. First, I just want to say thank you all for getting together and thinking outside of the box when we have these great ideas come along for a leadership program like this. It really has been an opportunity for all of the talent in Washington County Public Schools to come together and pick those that probably are going to be great in that leadership role and give them that opportunity to get mentorship programs going, to get the training or the what do I want to say there, yes, thank you, the experience. I couldn't think there for a minute. The experience from some of our seasoned veterans. So I did part of the advisory program. We researched how to implement that program across all 3 division levels. And I know out of that it's come to fruition in several different areas in middle school and in high school. At Patrick Henry, we actually have developed an advisory program, and with the help of Mr. Lambert, we purchased a curriculum called Character Strong, which I think was used in some schools before that. The great thing about that curriculum, it is 9 through 12. Vertically aligned, and it covers all kinds of things from social emotional learning, engagement, connectedness, career, and college planning. And so we've gone 3 sessions so far, and I've heard great things. The teachers like it, the kids, that chance to have that communication and interaction without those cell phones there. So I'm excited to see where that program is going to go for that. And then the last part with this program, we're creating that pipeline. And again, thinking outside the box and seeing that need being there, that within the next 10 and 15 years, we're going to need people in those leadership roles, and to look within and find that talent that we have here that we can foster and build was really amazing to me, and I'm appreciative of that. And so if you want to go to that last slide there, these are just some of the folks that were in that leadership program and we're still in it. This is year 2 that have stepped into leadership positions here in the county, from our Dean of Students positions, myself as assistant principal, excuse me, Ms. Gobble there as assistant principal. And I'm just excited to see what this next year is going to bring, and seeing and learning about those different experiences from those seasoned veterans, so that as I continue my years in this role, that I have things to pull from. And so we just want to say thank you, and we're excited to see where this program goes. And
Just thank you so much for the opportunity.
Madam Chair, what I would like to say is, the Cultivated Leadership came from a board goal that our board developed 2 years ago. And because of Cultivated Leadership, now we have 2 more board goals that came from that. And so I think that just continues to show that when we focus on something in Washington County and put our attention to it, good things happen. The other thing I'd like to point out, as Ms. Montsabias was talking about seasoned veterans, she pointed at Dr. Wallace and Mr. Lambert. I appreciate that as well. That's a good job, Ms. Montsabias. So, but you look at there are 7 administrative positions that came out of that. We were able to hire every single one of those in-house. And they had a head start because we had already started the training process on what the Washington Way looks like from a leadership standpoint.
I think the networking that took place last spring was, first of all, a lot of good things have come from this academy, but I think getting our best teachers that want to be leaders in other buildings with principals, assistant principals that they had no idea who they were. So I thought that was a wonderful opportunity, and to have 7 out of our 23 cultivated leadership participants in leadership roles this year is a great sign. I think we've got more folks prepared to take leadership roles, and then the projects that our folks did were outstanding. The advisory that that's taking place at Patrick Henry is also taking place at other high schools, at all of our middle schools. That came from this group. Our Washington County Community Scholars, we're excited. We're going to do a lot of different things with that, make it a whole division, and all the ideas comes from this group. So I think what Dr. Perigin was saying, it was your all's idea to build this, but what we're going to do is grow as a division because of these 23 individuals. So super excited. That's one thing, Dr. Perigin, he threw this out, and then he kind of let me run with it. I was not expecting all this to come together the way it has, but it's been really good for the division.
Board members, any questions?
I have a couple, but I'm so excited, number one, that you're here. I'm familiar with you may not know me, but I know you. And it's like, I could not have been more happy when I saw the list of the names on your cohort, because I think someone even says, all you guys are rock stars, just amazing, dynamic people who I do feel are marked for leadership. And so I wanted to ask, and I hope this isn't improper HR, but how's the school year going so far? Because I know that you're the assistant principal at Patrick Henry. The dean of students are new positions, and so I'm just really interested. 9 weeks in, how do you feel? Go for it.
It's busy. There's never a dull moment.
That's right.
But it's really good. I've enjoyed working with the kids in a different aspect and getting to work with everybody, not just my focus of my 23 in a class or my 3 classes. So I get to see everybody, and I get to work with the teachers too, and that's really been eye-opening, and I've really enjoyed getting to know the different staff members at EB.
It's been awesome so far. I am so focused on curriculum. That's my cup of tea, and that opportunity now to be on this side of the things and mentor teachers. And I just want to say thank you for taking a chance, because it's always hard when you promote from within. And I feel so far I've gotten great feedback from the faculty that they say they feel like I'm supporting them and helping them. So that part is great, because that's always a hard transition when you're within that same school. The cell phones, I want to speak on that. It's been actually really good, and to watch the kids actually communicate in the cafeteria and other places. There was the first day we did advisories, they had a questionnaire they had to fill out, and they had a little bit of time left. Well, they looked all at each other. This was the group that was in the library, and they're like, well, what are we going to do now? And they found a rubber bouncy ball, and it was a competition. How many times can we bounce it across the table? I was like, that's what we did when we were in high school, because we didn't have cell phones. So that's been a great addition as well, not to have it. Yep.
I echo, it's been great. So coming from a high school to 2 amazing middle schools, just 2 really good mentors. I learned something new every single day. So just blessed to be in both of those communities, and I think I'm definitely where I'm supposed to be. So just blessed and thankful.
Awesome. One more question. So if 9 weeks in, if you had a teacher, so say maybe in a year or so, and you start, maybe you have a second cohort.
Another cohort.
Would you encourage people, if someone came to you and said, like, should I do this? Because it is a time investment. You are like doing extra work meetings. There's definitely, it puts more on your already full plate. But would you recommend it?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Just for example, one other session we had was Dr. King did on evaluations, and just sitting there and taking down all that information now that I can apply it in real world situations. That was very beneficial. Awesome. And some of the things that we have coming up this year, I'm excited because I know I'm going to be able to use those. So.
Great. Good.
When I did my ed leadership at Radford, I wasn't fortunate enough to have a program like this. We went through school all just like you guys did, but nobody ever told us what we do with an irate parent that comes raising pure Sam on us and how we handle that. Did and I saw some of the things that you guys did. Did y'all talk to your mentors or anyone give you some pointers?
Oh, absolutely.
I can give you some good ones.
And it's nice now. Sorry, Mr. Lambert was talking about just the networking that we have, and so when you have a difficult day, it's nice to have those network of veteran admin to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I just need to talk to you for a minute." So.
You could have special guest Sanders Henderson.
There you go. We do some role playing with Mr. Henderson.
I've probably been cut from hills and Tazewell to Chill Alley, so Marion, there well.
Your turn. My turn. Yeah, I think it's a great program. Ms. Monsiváis may be up here telling us about curriculum and all that. She's also a heck of a painter. She's a heck of a
Do the sound when it doesn't work at a volleyball game.
Interior decorator. Went to her own son or daughter. Son went to his competition, then showed up at Virginia High at a football game one night. I mean, I was sitting there, so I can tell you're really putting the effort into it, and I can speak to that this leadership has helped you. It looks like you've hit the ground running. Ms. Garrett, coming from a high school, and I'm just going, sorry, I haven't been to EB, okay, so I can't individually name you. But going from a high school setting to coming in and seeing all the middle school kids and then having to cook pancakes and bacon on teacher work day and seeing, how middle school sort of does it a little bit differently. And I can just tell already the confidence she's gained from her. I think I was there maybe the first or second day you actually even started. And going from a high school to a middle school setting. So obviously what you're doing, Mr. Lambert, in this program is developing them the right way where they can hit the ground running, know what the expectations are. You all probably heard me say this before, but when you're an administrator of a building, you're responsible for every square inch of that property. I don't care if it's leaves, grass, roof leaking, kids, curriculum, volleyball clock not working, whatever it might be. That's just the way it's set up, and that's the expectation. And visibility is a great winner with your community, being there where they can see you, whether you need to be, want to be, or have to be. Those are the 3 times that you should be there, all 3, okay, if you possibly can. But that's just part of it, and it's just part of being a good leader and being started in this program. So congratulations to all 3 of you, and I'm sure they can say the same things about you, okay, as well, in moving through that progress. But those are just things I've noticed individually about those 2 that I'm around the most.
I just like to say congratulations. Anytime, it warms my heart when you see people that want to improve and go above and beyond and better themselves and move up the chain. That's what it's all about, doing better and better and better and better. And congratulations for doing that. And thank you all for wanting to do that.
To me, you guys are a coffee bean, stepping up and taking that challenge, wanting that challenge to improve and continue to grow. So I appreciate that.
And I hope that you feel that as a board we value that you want to be leaders and that we want to pour into you and grow you in that role, because it's so important that we have people in those leadership positions that are helping our teachers and our custodians and everyone in that building do what they can for students. So I hope that you feel that we value you in those roles and will continue to do so. But thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Now, I think we've seen you dressed up at Damascus. Now, where were you on our hike?
I had to be at Glade that day. But I do have a pretty sweet split down the middle Damascus and Glade shirt. So.
She does.
Which I'm going to have to copycat because my son's at Battle. And so Saturday was the band competition, and Patrick Henry walked away as reserve grand champion. And so my husband looked at me and he said, well, if you don't get to cheer for Battle, at least you got to cheer for Patrick Henry.
Yes, we had a volleyball game, and you wore a shirt that was split down the middle.
Wear it again on Thursday for football.
And all of us can say anything we want to say. You can go through the program. You can listen to all the good accolades that we've talked about now. But unless you all want to do this and really put in your heart and soul into a leadership position, then success will not be there later on. Okay, so that's really, it really boils down to you all. We're going to brag on you, and we're going to put you through the program, and we're going to put you in places, but you're really the key to it, to make that decision, look yourself in the mirror and say, I want to be a leader, and I want to be assistant principal, principal, superintendent. They're a dime a dozen, but we try to put together. So, you know, if that's what you really want to do, it's really up to you all, you know, on what you want to be, how you want to progress through the system.
Any other questions? Thank you for coming.
Great job, guys.
Thank you all.
If y'all want to hang around, you can.
I gotta get to the moonlight.
That's right.
Homecoming week.
Miss Hensley's
Homecoming
child
week.
is literally in the parking lot.
He's supervised, he's supervised.
Thank you all.
Okay, 9.01, new business. Oh, did I miss that one?
8:02.
All right.
Listen at mine.
Oh, it's not on mine. It's on the new one.
I know y'all left the number.
8.02.
But, Madam Chair, as you know, one of the most important functions of a board is to oversee the district's budget. We have a $127 million budget, and it is a moving target. I mean, not a moving target. It's a document that we plan, and it changes as year goes on because our revenues and our expenditures change. And so Ms. Caudill from every month or every other month or so this year is going to give us updates about how those revenues and expenditures have changed.
Just I did a summary sheet on the front and give all the detail behind it, but believe it or not, I know you just approved, seems like you just approved the budget. We're already finished with the first quarter, so 25% of the year is already behind us. We did have our big revenue adjustment from the supplemental appropriation carryover was last week at the Board of Supervisors. So that adjusted the beginning balance for Governor's School Textbook Fund, Fiscal Agency Fund, School Nutrition Fund to the actual. And it allowed us our carryovers that you all requested in the earlier, for the supplemental appropriation, I'm sorry. The expenditure adjustments mostly relate, we did have some grant money too, quite a bit. $250,000 that wasn't budgeted for the communities and schools. $153,919 security grant award. And then we had $10,000 for Jack Tails donation for Jack Tails. It's a program. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you go ahead. Elementary.
Yeah.
It's a play through
That's right. I'm sorry.
teacher Patrick Henry. They're going to do that all for elementary schools. So it was a grant/community partnership.
We also had on the expenditure adjustments listed out for you. I won't need to read all that to you, but we talked about at the last board meeting a pickup of over $100,000 from the supplemental retirement. The actuary report came back, was able to fund some changes in their personnel and goes around and and then we had some carryover that went over for the transportation for the buses and things carry over. It's all listed there, and then at the bottom on the summary sheet gives you all the funds, the totals, amounts of where we started, where we are.
Any questions?
Do you feel good about everything, Melissa? You feel good about everything?
Yeah. I do.
You're asking a numbers person how she feels.
She-
She goes by data.
She won't say that because she knows if she says, "Oh yeah, I feel good," she knows what she says. What I'm going to say next.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little nervous. No.
All right. 9.01, new business. Does any of the board members have any new business? Hearing none. 10.01, unfinished business.
Madam Chair, I think the last item that we have is we're going to have a presentation in November from one of our Teach for Tomorrow programs, the one that we house at the EO Center. But I think outside of that, we just about have all of our old business wrapped up until y'all come up with something
Some
new.
more.
Yeah. So we'll have that ready to go in November. I will say, as it starts to get twilight outside, if you'll look over Kelly's back, you'll see what the tennis courts look like fully lighted up. Yeah, so it look,
Very pretty.
turned out great. So if y'all want to stay after closed session for a round, we've got some rounds.
Dr. Frederick Drive, we've already nailed the mayor delegate, didn't we?
All right, any other unfinished business? Hearing none, we now are 11.01, update by board. So, Sandy, we will start with you.
September was super busy. It continues to be busy. We had the tennis court opening, ribbon cutting, and that was a wonderful event. Was glad that the Board of Supervisors and Town Council could be able to be there for it, including the students. We also had the Parent Resource open house night at EO, and I thought that was a great event. Lots of vendors there. Mr. Gobble did a great job getting that going. I have been around to the different schools. I've spent a lot of time on the bus lately with the marching band, but I actually love chaperoning because, one, I love talking to the bus drivers and just learning things and getting to know them. And the kids are great. I enjoy talking with them and just getting to learn about the different things that they're into, which is not just band in most cases. It's a lot of other stuff. And also just getting to know a lot of parents and hearing them talk about things and that are going well in the school division. And I'll bring up one of those in just a moment. I also have been to Watauga for lunch duty. I try to go at the end of every month for parent lunch duty. And I will say the salads are as big as the kids there. And there's a lot of kids that order the salads, but I enjoy talking with the kids and sitting and eating lunch with them. That's always a good event. The one thing that I wanted to bring up that actually came from a band parent just being on the bus and talking about things was at E.B. Stanley Middle School. They've been working on a kind of I guess for lack of a better word, Dr. Wallace, would be like an accreditation in a way. But they've been working on Project Adam. And so Project Adam is where you train for cardiac events within your building. It means that you have an AED that's within 3 minutes of being able to be obtained, and your school goes through trainings to make sure that if there is a cardiac event, they can respond in a timely manner. And that really kind of came out of some conversations with a family that has a student with some cardiac needs. The school was like, hey, this could be something we could do, and they did it. And so now they are part of that Project Adam. And we are looking at other schools at doing that as well. And I just think, again, that speaks to our community responsiveness. You know, where we have a need of if it's just one student or multiple students, we kind of find a way to make it happen. So I wanted to give a shout out to Miss Fletcher and also for Miss Nichols for making sure that they organize being able to take care of that event and also expanding it throughout the county. And that's all I have.
So last month I highlighted Greendale, so tonight I'm going to highlight Abingdon Elementary. If you haven't been to Abingdon Elementary, their whole theme is baseball, which being a baseball mom, I absolutely love. So they had Grand Slam Grandparents Lunch, which was a huge hit. They welcomed over 250 grandparents. They also had STEM night for 3rd and 5th graders. Their book fair had more sales this year than in the past 2 years, so that's really exciting. And as you've already heard about tonight, they have some great student leadership opportunities, which is one of them is Mr. James's crew. But they have Friends for Life, the Run Club, which that will be coming up very soon, the Robotics Club, the Safety Patrol, and Student Council. And then Abingdon Elementary is having their Fall Festival Thursday night, October 23rd, and Greendale is having theirs Friday night, October 24th.
I'm just going to compliment Miss O'Neill and her food services staff in my time slot for all that they do every day, keeping our kids fed throughout this entire county. And the cheesy, easy cheesy, I've been following it on our
washing away.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. But yes, see it progress from Wallace Middle School now going throughout the entire system. But thank you, and tell your staff thank you. from the bottom of our hearts.
Ms. Nichols?
Okay. Well, I want to start out just by reminding everyone that October is Bullying Prevention Month, and hopefully you're receiving your Virginia School Board Association emails, because they, I think on October 1st, sent out emails, shared some excellent resources just to help us reflect and educate and take action. Also some great social media tools if you guys you have a school board page. And we're also going to prepare as a school division to celebrate Red Ribbon Week later this month. And just in light of that, I just want to say, I know you guys have watched probably news, and so it's just in a time when unkindness can feel very common, whether it's online or in person. I think it's more important than ever that we treat others the way we wish to be treated. And being kind is not being weak. It's actually being courageous. And so if anyone, whether you're a student or adult, whether online, at school, or out in your community, if you witness bullying, whether I feel like that we need to speak out, because silence can feel complicit. So saying this to myself as much as anyone else, like, let's intentionally choose compassion and accountability and the kind of leadership that uplifts everybody. And but tonight has been so positive with our board acknowledgments. That was something I prepared before I walked in here. And it's just been such an affirmation of what amazing community we live in. And it's a community that truly loves on others, and really, truly, as Adam even touched on, really will, give to others before even taking care of themselves many times. And, definitely I have so much gratitude just to be a Washington County resident. We also have some wonderful events coming up in our schools. High Point Elementary will host its Fall Festival on October 24th. It's always an awesome celebration. And actually this Friday, I think it's been mentioned before, it's homecoming for John Battle High School. Very excited for that. And the homecoming dance for John Battle is on Saturday. And I know the PTSO is still looking for volunteers to help. So whether anybody would like to help decorate or chaperone or actually clean up after the dance, Adam, what do you do on Saturday? I've signed up to chaperone. But if you're
He's DJing.
But if you're a John Battle parent, would like to
You should have brought one of those poster boards.
Mr. King can enlighten you all.
All right, but if you're a John Battle parent and like to lend a hand, Adam, please reach out to the PTSO. I'm just playing. Thank you for to each of you too. Last thing I will say, I don't know if you guys follow Cardinal News, but there was an article this morning that touched on the in other school divisions, there are 8 school board seats that they don't even have a candidate or a nominee, not much less uncontested. And I think many times it is because, this is like a thankless job, and a lot of times people, can really be in an uproar and be mean online, and, it really affects your families. And I think, a lot of times people are fearful or afraid just even serve in this capacity, just because it can be hard, and sometimes it's not easy, and it can be really stressful. And so I just want to thank each of you for your time and your energy, and for serving your community the way you do. We have a wonderful board where I travel across Virginia and talk to so many different school board members. There is so much division on so many boards, and that's over and over. I tell people, it's like, we have an awesome board. And it's like everybody's in it for the right reasons. Nobody has like a personal agenda trying to just get things done. Everybody really is there to do what's best for students, and we're immediately behind that, like what's best for Washington County employees. And so I'm grateful for each of you.
Well, I went to a few football games. I've gone to Abingdon, and I've stayed there for a half, just about, and then go to Patrick Henry and watch football games there. One thing I was impressed with, Patrick Henry's on the road. When they go on the road in Abingdon's home, Dr. Brandon will keep me posted on what's going on with Patrick Henry, and I'll go to Abingdon. And I'm surprised, Dr. Fredericks, you didn't mention this, because Friday night was the most impressive thing I've ever seen. There were over 300 band members playing the national anthem. They combined E.B. Stanley in Abingdon High School in their new uniforms.
With their new instruments.
And their new instruments. And it sounded great. And it looked magnificent out there. It was just a field of blue out there, dark blue. And I really enjoyed that. Also, I made a trek over to Abingdon Elementary last Friday, and talking about the place being gussied up on the old chain link rusty fence. Miss Willis and Mr. Francisco and the staff, they have like a, what would you call it, a
windscreen.
Yeah, windbreaker, whatever it is, with Abingdon Elementary AES, and then where they have the same thing where they have the gas cans or the gas tanks. But I was informed that may move to the back side. Am I correct?
Awesome.
And that would the aesthetics would look real nice then. Also, something to piggyback what Ms. Nichols said. During our forum at the Higher Ed Center, one of the League of Women Voters mentioned that she was talking to this other lady in Northern Virginia who's in the League of Women Voters, and she says, "What is the difference between an urban school and a rural school?" Well, I'll let everybody else have their say. I said, "Hey, can I answer that question? And you take this back to your friend in Northern Virginia." I said, you could have seen the difference when the hurricane hit over Damascus. The rural schools, John Battle, Patrick Henry, Abingdon, we picked up the elementary schools, the middle schools picked up and went over and took and helped the Damascus area. And I will guarantee you, if it had happened at Patrick Henry, or if it happened at Abingdon, or if it happened at John Battle, Damascus would have picked up and they would have came over. That's what it's all about. Like I said, I didn't think any less of these people in here tonight. That's what they need. That's what we do in Southwest Virginia. And being kind, but if we have to get rough sometimes, Miss Nichols, we have to. Sometimes we have to. But anyway, I want to thank my board members and all they do. It's a team, and my wife, she'll say to me, she said, "What are you saying we for all the time? You got a mouse in your pocket?" No, I don't say that. I know this is just an old coach's cliche. There's no I in the word team, and we all work together. It's like Dr. Brandon was talking about. With the tennis courts out here, the board of supervisors, the town council, and our school board all went in together to do this out here. The weather camera, the town council in Glade, and our technology department. If we don't use our resources, we won't go anywhere. And we all are here to help our students and our staff in the school board here in Washington County. Thank you. I thought that's pretty good. Go ahead. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you.
Yeah, that was good. It was. I just want to say a couple things. I mentioned 150th, celebration of the town of Glade Spring, and Mr. Henderson and I, to sort of show you how it works both ways. Even though they support us, he and I have attended at least 3 events that they've had celebrating the town, listening to some of our local kids clog and sing downtown to farmers market. And so we're supporting them and they're supporting us. So I think it's an important part of it. And I say this every time we have recognitions. I guess I'll say it again. I really appreciate the principals being here tonight. They weren't necessarily recognized, but again, they're the mainstay of the building, and if they have groups being recognized, for them to be here, I think says another thing about, what we expect out of our leaders and what we expect them to do to support their staff and other people. And I'll just ask you, do you like Mr. King? Okay.
Sometimes.
Do you like Mr. King? That's
Yes, she like Mr. Davis.
That's what I was going to say. I don't like him.
And Mr. Long?
I love him.
Love him. Abingdon? Miss Cumbo?
Love her. She's the best.
There you go.
One of the things.
And we'll take some time for Mr. King.
I'm no grouchy guy, I know him.
He'd be the first one there to help you, I know that.
Mhm.
Yeah, he would definitely do that.
I just
so.
want to add something what Dr. Brandon was saying there. I was in the cafeteria at Emory today, and the lady that works in there, she said, "Hey, are y'all gonna be in the parade?" I'm thinking, what's your Christmas parade? So I said, what's you think? Dr. Brandon and I, we ride his gator through the Christmas parade, and we throw candy out. And she asked me today if we were going to be in the parade. I said, "Well, it depends on if Dr. Brandon's gator's working. One, we may be there. And how cold it is."
They look forward to it.
I'm marked.
They look forward to it.
But I'm marked.
We ride.
I
We
know.
throw a lot of candy there. We'll take it right to the front door when we Dr. Brandon.
That we do.
Okay, I have two things. Well, let me start with the homecoming at Holston was last week, and there was so many activities, carnivals, and they spread to the community, and it was just fun to see the smiles and everything that went on. Then the part that meant so much to me is that we started it last year, and I told some people coming up through the stands, and I told the kids that if something happens to me, that is one item that I want them to continue. That part of my legacy, I want to be there every homecoming week. And that is where we bussed over all of the kindergartners. And all of the seniors went down on the field. So we had seniors on one goal line, our kindergartners on the other goal line. And we played music as they went forward. Each of the seniors, I had found a little trophy. And what was scary was when I typed out and put on it, class of 2038. So here we had 2026, and here we had 2038. And when you look at it that way, but those seniors got down on their knees, talked with those kindergartners. Kindergartners gave a picture, but that started, say, look where we're going into the year. They'll go and walk through. And that is just the way that community comes together. The other thing is that we've posted pictures, and the comment from the band, it was posted, we had a comment said, "Where'd you get those tubas?" from a band student several years ago. So now I've got flu shots were given. My grandkids did throw a fit. They cried, but I'm lucky. You know that he didn't run out the door. Okay, I've got a question. How many miles long is the Appalachian Trail?
It's 2,000. What?
I
don't know the exact number. I want to say it's like 2,100 and some change.
Okay. Does it change every year?
Yes, because there's detours and reroutes, and there's these yellow blazes called AT spurs, and so they're leveraged a lot. And like the ones in Damascus actually was the original AT, and it got moved in 1978.
She's on top.
She is right. There is this year, the Appalachian Trail is 2,138 miles. And it does change. On last week, our 7th grade class read a novel. I think it was Halfway to the Sky by a lady in Bristol, but it's on the Appalachian Trail. So then on Thursday, they took a field trip to our community. And we found out where the Appalachian Trail begins in Damascus. and the man right at the house is an Emory Henry professor, spoke to them. We got to see 2 hikers go up the trail. The kids walked the trail, partial up. I was an unexpected gift. I was an unexpected guest because one of the things that they have on the trail is called trail magic.
Trail matching.
Magic. Trail magic, as these people told us, is just found throughout the trail. And it's just left as some type of kindness or something done. So these kids were given some trail magic before they hiked the trail. Then we walked to Town Park. They learned about the what to pack. They got to set fires with different things to burn. And then we walked to the town, in the middle of the town, the trail center, and had 2 really great presentations. And I went and followed all of those kids that day, and it was more of a learning experience for me. And those kids were wonderful, and it's just a joy to know that we have all of that in our backyard. And those kids of 7th graders will never forget that. And I doubt if the seniors will ever forget walking down that field, will they? I think I saw some tears.
Not that my mom was really scared. She was like, oh no, they play that sad music again. But this year was a little bit more upbeat, so it was a little bit more happy. And so it was still a good moment. And the pictures that the kids made were really special too.
Do you remember walking as a kindergarten?
I wasn't able to
it
walk.
was just started 2 years ago.
Not gonna win this bus till 2038. I believe I'll be about 80 something.
Oh, what was scary is I went home and told Jimmy, do you know our granddaughter's going to graduate? He said, no way, we'll never make it. But that's scary when you think 26, 38. All right.
Or board clerk
No, board update.
Board clerk update.
Board, okay. 1201, board update. We've done that. Board update, information reminders.
They're on the agenda, workshops coming up.
Okay. If you have any questions or need to get.
Let me know if you're interested.
Okay. All right. At this time, 13.01, resolution to end open session. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that the board convene in closed session after a 5-minute break for the purpose of discussing the following matters as authorized by section 2.2-3711A of the Code of Virginia. Section 2.2-3711A1, consider employment of specific individuals, consider employment of specific individuals contingent upon successful completion of background check, consider transfer of specific individuals, consider resignation of specific individuals, consider retirement of specific individuals, consider specific individuals with non-teaching assignments to receive coaching supplement only and subject to VHSL approval and with the number of positions approved for coaching.
Second.
All in favor? All right, 5-minute break.
Thanks, girls.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
I'm sorry. I'm glad I get to see you.
Come on, guys.
Yes, I did.
What is it?
Good.
Mr. Wilson.
Say hi to these guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I was supposed to jump on too.
I've already started writing an email to them to tell them what this is.
Anything we can do.